We are about to start section 6 of this course, that is build and test C, and we are going to focus on the topic that is basics of C. Let me give you a brief agenda of this section. Note that in earlier sections we have discussed basic concepts related to the C in detail. In this section we are going to discuss advanced concepts related with data types, variables, operators, expression, and various control statements in C. So this section is different than the earlier sections. There are 5 video lectures on solved MCQ questions in this section, and these videos contain MCQ question followed by the answer and explanation. Note that there is a specific instruction for you when you are going through this content. So you should see the MCQ question which is shown on the video screen. Pause the video for a while. Try to answer that question on your own. Then check the answer which is available in the video itself and match that answer with your answer. And I also appeal you to listen the explanation which is given for that particular question carefully, because each question will teach you some advanced concept related with C programming. This entire discussion will be followed by 2 topic quizzes which are related with basics of C, and try to solve that quizzes on your own. So I am very much sure that this section will be very much exciting for you. Thank you. Happy learning. Data types. Please note that data type decides number of bytes which are reserved to store the content of that variable, and this in turn decides the range of values which can be accommodated in that variable. Data type also decides what are the valid operations on that variable. There are type modifiers in C language. They extend meaning of basic data types. Examples of type modifiers are sign, unsigned, short, and long. In C language, integer, float, and character are considered as a primitive data types. There are derived data types which add functionality to C basic data types. These derived data types are useful to create new data types. Examples of derived data types are array, pointer, struct, union, typedef, and enumeration. Let's understand basic data types and the range of values we can accommodate in that data types. First one is a short integer. It requires 2 bytes of memory. A short integer can be signed short integer or unsigned short integer, and depending on that there is a range of values. For signed short integer, the range of values is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767, and for unsigned short integer the range of values is 0 to 65,535. Integer requires 4 bytes of memory, and again it can be signed or unsigned, and the value ranges are given in the table. Long integer uses 4 bytes of memory. Character uses 1 byte of memory. Please note that character can be also signed or unsigned, and accordingly the range can be set. Float variables uses 4 bytes of memory. Double uses 8 bytes of memory, and long double uses 10 bytes of memory. Please note that memory reserved for these data types may vary from one compiler to another. So coming next is the second session on the basics of C, that is data types, operators, and control statements. Till then, happy C programming. We are discussing topic 1, that is basics of C, data types, operators, and control statement. This is second session on the topic basics of C. So please see the program on the screen carefully, and you need to guess what will be the output of this program. In the program line number 6, there is a if. There is one more if in the same line. So what will be the output of this program? And correct answer is, this program gives the output as a 25. That is, the value of A is a 25. Let's understand why the output is a 25. Please note that here the value of B is 30. This value is neither less than 30 nor greater than 30, but it is equal to 30. The if conditions which are given in line number 6, they are nested ifs. And the else which is there on the line number 7 belongs to immediate previous if, that is of the condition B greater than 30. So here first condition itself, that is B less than 30, is not true, and that's why the nested if will not work, and the value of variable A remains as it is, that is a 25. So the output is a 25. Now please see this program and you need to guess the output. It is a simple for loop which is having one statement, that is a printf welcome. So what will be the output of this code? And the correct answer is, this program print welcome message infinitely. Let's understand why it is giving this type of output. Please note that in the for loop there are three parts, that is initialization, condition and increment or a decrement, and all these three parts are optional. So there is nothing wrong if you do not give these parts. Since here the condition is not mentioned, this condition is assumed to be true, and that's why it prints the welcome message infinitely. Let's move to the next program. Please guess the output of this code. There is a float variable declared on line number 5 and a double variable declared on line number 6, and there is a printf printing the size of f, d and the size of a fractional value 0.7. So what will be the output of this program? And the correct answer is, it prints three values, that is 4, 8, 8. Let's understand why this program is giving the output like this. Please note that here variable f is a float variable, variable d is a double variable, and as we discussed in the last session, float variable occupies 4 bytes of memory, whereas the double variable occupies 8 bytes of memory. 0.7 is a fractional number, and by default its type is considered as a double, so that's why size of 0.7, it displays the value 8. Let's move to the next program. Can you guess the output of this code? Here there is a float variable declared on the line number 5 and a switch statement on line number 6 accepting the value of L, and different cases are there. So what will be the output of this code? And the correct answer is, this program generates a compiler error. Let's understand why it is happening so. Please note that in C language, switch statement accepts either integer or a character value as an argument. In this program, L variable is given as an argument to switch, which is a float variable, and this is not acceptable, so it generates a compiler error. Let's move to the next program. Please read the program carefully. In the program, there are two variables, that is A and B, both storing the value 2.3, and there is a if which checks if the value of A and B are same, it prints equal, else it prints not equal. So can you guess the output of this code? And the correct answer is, the output is not equal. Let's understand why we are getting this output. Please note that a float variable is stored using 4 bytes of memory, whereas a double variable is stored using 8 bytes. Here variable A is a float, variable B is a double. Float and double uses different precisions while storing fractional content. And though the value of A and B appears same, that is a 2.3, they are actually storing different values in the memory, and that's why the output is not equal. Let's understand some key concepts about type conversion. Type conversion happens when an expression in the C language has a mixed data types and it is implicit one. Here compiler try to convert lower data type to higher one because other way it may cause loss in the information. Let's understand type conversion with example on the screen. On line number 4, two variables are initialized, A to 10 and B to 3. There is third variable C declared on line number 4. There is a float variable declared on line number 5. Line number 6, C is equal to A divided by B, and if we try to print the value of C, it prints the value 3. Please note that in the expression which is there on the line number 6, A and B both are integers, so A divided by B, the result is also integer. C is also integer, so final result is also integer, and the output is a 3. Line number 8, there is an expression D is equal to A divided by B. Please note that D here is a float variable. A and B, since both are integer, the answer is 3, which is an integer. But since we are assigning the value 3 to a float variable, if we print the value of D, it is 3.0000. The final result is getting converted into a fractional value due to type conversion. On line number 10, we have one more expression, that is D is equal to float A divided by B. Please note that here we are converting A to a float value, then A divided by B will be a float number, and that's why the output will be 3.33. In type conversion, hierarchy rules of data types are as follows. From higher to lower it goes like this. The highest one is a double, then float, long, integer, short, and finally character. Here signed data types are lower than unsigned. Signed character and short data are promoted to integer. Unsigned character and short data are promoted to unsigned integer. Please note that type casting is explicit, whereas type conversion is implicit. Type casting is done manually by the programmer and it doesn't change actual value. So in the next part, we'll discuss basics of C, that is data types, operators and control statement. Third part of this. Till then, enjoy C programming. We are discussing first topic, that is the basics of C, data types, operators and control statement. So first program of this session, please see the code and guess the output. In the program, there is a switch statement accepting the variable n. There is a default case, there is a case for value 15 and another case for value 10. So what will be the output of this code? And the correct answer is, the output will be two messages, that is I am 7 followed by I am 10. Let's understand why the program is giving this type of output. Please note that here in the switch statement, default case is given at the beginning. However, default case executes only if no other case in the switch matches, and this is irrespective of its position in the switch. Since the value of n is a 15, it matches with case 15 and it displays the message I am 7. Please note that there is a no break statement after the case 15, and that's why it displays another message also, that is I am 10. Let's move to the next program. Please read this program carefully and guess the output. This program accepts values for variable B, C, D on line number 6. It assigns that return value to the variable A, displays the value of A on the line number 7. Line number 8, there is a printf which is printing the message welcome and assigning the value to variable A and displaying the value of A on the line number 9. So what will be the output of this program? And the correct answer is, it will display three values, that is 3, welcome and 8. Let's understand why the program is giving this type of output. Please note that printf and scanf, these are the library functions, and as like any function, scanf function returns an integer value and it is equal to number of values it accepted successfully. In the program on line number 6, scanf accepts three values. So the value assigned to variable a on line number 6 is a 3, and that's why the output is a 3. Printf is a library function. It also returns an integer value, and it is equal to number of characters it printed on the screen. So here on line number 8, printf prints the message welcome. There are 7 characters in the welcome, and there is a /t, so one more character added. So it returns the value 8, and it is assigned to variable a on the line number 8, and that's why the printf on the line number 9 gives the output as 8. Let's move to the next example. So please see the program carefully, and can you guess the output of this one? In the program there is a simple for loop, and in the for loop there is only one statement, that is printing a message. So can you guess the output of this code? So this program do not give any output, so it do not print anything. Let's understand why it is happening so. Please note that here in the for loop, the condition is 0, which evaluates to false. Hence, the condition is false at the beginning itself, and that's why there is no output. Let's move to the next example. Please see the program carefully, and you need to guess the output. Line number 6, there is a simple if containing two conditions which are connected by logical AND. So if both conditions are true, the value of variable c is initialized to 1, and if any of the condition is false, c gets the value 2, and finally it prints the value of abc. So can you guess what will be the output of this code? And the correct output is the value of a is 0, value of b is a 1, and value of c is a 2. Let's understand why we are getting this type of output. Please note that double AND is a logical AND operator. It is used to check whether both conditions are true or not. We know that if the first condition is false, so irrespective of second condition, the result will be always false. Compiler makes the optimization that if the first condition is false, it does not evaluate the second condition. On line number 6, the value of a is 0. So first condition itself is a false. Hence second condition is never evaluated, that is b is equal to 5, and that's why the value of b remains as it is, that is 1, and else part of the if is executed, which puts the value 2 in the variable c. Let's move to the next example. It is a similar example as like previous. So can you guess the output? So let's check the answer. This program outputs three values, that is 1, 5 and 1. Let's understand why it is giving this type of output. Please note that here the value of variable a is 1. So first condition, which is connected by logical AND, is a true, and that's why second condition need to be evaluated, which assigns the value 5 to variable b. Since both conditions are true, the value of c is 1, and that's why the output is 151. Let's discuss some key points about side effects and sequence points. To understand a side effect, let's consider an expression that is result equal to count plus plus. In this expression, the final value is stored in the variable result, but this expression is also modifying the value of counter variable, which is a side effect. Side effect is an operation that affects any operand's storage. At a sequence point, compiler ensures that all side effects of previous evaluations have been performed. There are certain valid sequence points in C language. These are as follows. Between evaluation of left and right operators of logical AND, logical OR and comma operators. between evaluation of first operand of conditional operator and its second or third operand. At end of full expression, for example semicolon, return statement, controlling expression of different control statements. Before function is entered in a function call, in the next part, we'll continue the discussion on basics of C, which will be the fourth session on this topic. Till then, enjoy C programming. Discussing first topic, that is the basics of C, data types, operators and control statement. This is the fourth session out of 5 sessions on this topic. Let's get started with some key concepts about operator precedence and associativity. The table gives details about all operators available in C language. The operators in higher rows are with the highest precedence. As we go down, the precedence goes on decreasing. Brackets, arrow operator and dot operator, they are having highest precedence in C, whereas the comma operator is the one which is having lowest precedence. Please note that to solve any question which is related with the expression evaluation, you need to know these operator precedence as well as associativity. Associativity decides order in which operators of equal precedence are evaluated. For example, operator star, that is a multiplication, divide by and modulo are having same priority as per the previous table. Hence associativity matters in this case. And in this case, if you refer the previous table, it is left to right. If we want to evaluate the expression like x is equal to 40 multiplied by 20 divided by 10, since multiplication and divide both are having same precedence and the associativity is left to right, here multiplication is done first and then division, and that's why x will get the value 80. However, if the expression is x is equal to 40 divided by 20 multiplied by 10, in this case, since the left to right associativity is there, divide by works first followed by multiplication, and that's why x will get the value 20. Please note that associativity matters only when operators are having equal precedence. There are certain miscellaneous operators in C language. For example, size of and conditional operator. Size of appears to be like a library function. Please note that it is an operator in C. Conditional operator is a ternary operator in C language. So there are 3 operands for the conditional operator. Please note that modulo operator can be applied only on integers and characters. Let's get started with our first program. Please see the program carefully and guess the output. In this program there are 2 if conditions. If first if condition is satisfied, then it is printing the message welcome 1. If not satisfied, then it is printing the message by 1. If the second if satisfies, it displays the message welcome 2. And if do not, then it displays the message by 2. So can you guess what will be the output of this program? It will display 2 messages, that is welcome 1 and by 2. Let's understand why it is giving this type of output. Please note that in an if condition, if comma operator is used, then result of only last sub expression is taken into account to evaluate the condition. Also note that comma is a valid sequence point in C language. Hence, all intermediate calculations are finalized after reaching comma operator. In first if condition, variable z becomes 0 when comma is reached. Value becomes 1 due to plus plus z. Hence, the first condition is true. In second if condition, value of variable z becomes 0 when comma is reached. Value remains 0 due to z, which is after the comma, hence the condition is false. And that's why output is welcome 1 and buy 2. Let's understand the second program of this session. Please see the program carefully and guess the output. There is an expression on line number 6, that is r equal to p plus plus star plus plus q. And on line number 7, it is printing the values of variable p, q and r. So can you guess the output of this code? And the correct answer is the value of p will be printed as a 0, the q value will be -1, and the value of variable r will be 1. Let's understand why we are getting this output. Please note that on line number 6, the expression is containing two operators, that is a plus plus and star, and the precedence of plus plus is more than multiplication. So the expression is evaluated like this: p plus plus star plus plus q. Now p, there is a post increment, whereas for q it is a pre increment. So the value of q becomes -1 immediately. So r is -1 multiplied by -1, r gets the value 1, and after reaching the semicolon, the value of variable p becomes 0. So the output is 0, -1, 1. Let's move to the next program. Please read the program carefully and guess the output. In the program, there is a if statement on line number 6. There are two conditions in that if. If both conditions are satisfied, it prints the message welcome. Otherwise, it prints the message bye. So can you guess the output of this? And the correct answer is, this program outputs the message welcome. Let's understand why it is giving this type of output. Please note that in a condition, anything which is non-zero is considered as a true. So the condition like -1, logical and 3 evaluates to true. Since the condition is true, value of m changes after the evaluating the condition, and that's why the output is welcome. Please note that though the value of m considered during the condition evaluation is a -1, since it is a non-zero, it is considered as a true. Let's move to the next program. Please read this program carefully and guess the output. In the program line number 6, there is expression y is equal to x bitwise or 1 left shift 4 times, and on line number 7 it is printing the value of x and y. So can you guess what will be the output of this program? And the correct answer is, output will be the value of x will be 1, whereas the value of y will be 17. Please note that left shift operator is having more precedence than the bitwise OR. If we perform left shift 4 times on 1, we'll get the result shown in the slide. After bitwise ORing with above value of x, the final result in the binary form is shown, and that result is nothing but decimal equivalence of 17. Let's move to the next program. In the program line number 6, there is an expression r star equal to 10 plus 5, and then finally printing the value of r on line number 7. Can you guess what will be the output of this code? And the correct answer is, it will display the value of r as a 150. Let's understand why the programming is giving the output as a 150. Please note that the expression on line number 6, operator plus is having more precedence than star equal to. Hence the expression is evaluated as follows: r star equal to 10 plus 5. Since plus is having more precedence, then it becomes r star equal to 15. Since the value of r is 10, the final value of r will be 150. So in the next part, we'll continue the basics of C. It will be the last session on this unit. Till then, enjoy C programming. Discussing first topic, that is the basics of C, data types, operators and control statements. Let's get started with this program. Please see this code carefully and guess the output. In the program, there is an expression on line number 6, that is a result equal to, in the bracket, 10 greater than 10 equal to 0. Then print is the value of result on line number 7. There is one more expression on line number 8, that is not 100 less than -1, assigning the value to result and then printing the value of result variable on line number 9. Can you guess output of this code? And the correct answer is the first printf prints the value of result as a 1, whereas the second printf prints the value of result as a 0. Let's understand why we are getting this type of output. Please note that the expression on line number 6, the first sub-expression, that is 10 greater than 10, this evaluates to false, that is 0, and then expression 0 double equal to 0 evaluates to true. So the result variable gets the value 1. Expression on line number 8, not 100, evaluates to false, that is 0. And then expression 0 less than -1, it evaluates to false, that is 0. Hence the result variable gets the value 0 on line number 8. And that's why the output is 1 and 0. Let's move to the next program. Please see the code carefully and guess the output. In the program, there is expression on line number 6, that is p equal to n plus 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 m, and then it is printing the value of n, m and p on line number 7. So can you guess the output of this code? And the correct answer is the value of n is printed as a 2, value of m is printed as a 2, the value of p is 3. So why we are getting this output? Let's understand it. Please note that this expression is evaluated as p is equal to n plus 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 m. There is a post increment of variable n, and which is done after reaching semicolon. So the value of p is equal to 1 plus 2. Hence the value of p is 3, value of n is a 2, and the value of m is a 2 when the printf is printing the values. Let's move to the next example. Can you guess output of this code? There are 3 variables m and p, and the value 15 is stored in each one in a different ways. And line number 8 prints the value of m, n and p. So what will be the output of this code? And the correct answer is 13 as a value of m, 21 as a value of n, and 15 as a value of p. So why we are getting this output? Let's understand theory behind this. Please note that in a C language, any number which is preceded after 0 is considered as an octal number. Line number 5, value of m is 0, 1, 5. So octal number 15 is converted into decimal number as 8 raised to 1 into 1 plus 8 raised to 0 into 5, that is 13. Please note that in C language, any number which is preceded after 0x is the hexadecimal number. Line number 6, the value of n is 0x15. Hexadecimal number 15 is converted into decimal as follows: 16 raised to 1 star 1 plus 16 raised to 0 multiplied by 5, and the answer is 21. So the value of n is a 21 in decimal format. Value of p is 15, and that's why the output is 13, 21 and 15. Let's understand some key points about ambiguity in order of evaluation of operands. Please note that C language doesn't specify order of evaluation of operands. For example, if the expression is result equal to function 1 plus function 2, in above expression, C standard doesn't specify if function 1 executes first or function 2 executes first. This decision is compiler specific. Please note that there are certain exceptions to above rules. These exceptions are for the operators logical AND, logical OR, conditional operator, and comma operator. There is also ambiguity if a variable appears more than once in an expression. For example, if the expression is array in the bracket I equal to I plus plus logical AND j, in above expression, the variable I is appearing twice on both sides of equal to operator. So there is a confusion whether array subscript I takes old or new value of I, and this is a compiler specific decision. So here we have covered the first topic. In the next session, there will be 2 topic quizzes on basics of C, data types, operators, and control statement. Till then,